So I love testing out new putters, and today we're gonna try out a really cool one you've probably seen. Most notably, Adam Scott was using it at the Masters in 2019, a L.A.B golf putter. Here are a couple of the old faithfuls. We've got the putter I've been playing lately, which is a round 4 putter with a Sense rectangular golf grip. Been liking that putter. We've got the old faithful, which is a Scotty Cameron from who knows when, the Super Stroke grip. Those are the two that I bounce back and forth between the most. And then now we have this new L.A.B golf putter. Here's how we're gonna test this out. I can hit some putts with the putters that I've been playing with the most, and then just tell you kind of what feels different, because this looks very different. It has this grip, which you'll see kind of has this forward press automatically built in. And then the really unique thing is the way that this is balanced. I'm gonna insert a video here showing that, but this is a really different weighting. I wanna see how that feels in real life. So let's hit some putts with the old putters, and then we'll go back to that. All right, so between these 3 putters, really different feels, right? We got this one, which is very mechanical. I actually did a putter fitting. You can go back with David Orr, and he saw this putter that I had, and described as very mechanical and kind of blocked. And this was causing me to actually aim to the right, this putter. So interesting feel here. This is pretty heavy as well. We got the Old Faithful, which is just kind of a traditional putter. It's much lighter. This is what I grew up with, so very familiar with this, good and bad memories. And then hitting this after hitting those 2 putters I'm very familiar with felt totally different. I think the thing that stood out the most was my change in my grip. And by changing my grip, I mean like how I'm forward pressing. So with my traditional putter, I typically do quite a bit of forward press here. And that's just kind of how I stroke it. And then you start using this thing, and this really presets you. So you don't have to forward press at all. It's just kind of naturally done. And it makes it feel a lot different. Like honestly, this backstroke I'm making feels quite a bit different than that putter. And I mean, the next thing we got to talk about is the weighting. The way this is balanced, when you hit a putt with this, first of all, grip setup's a little bit different. It feels totally different. Like there's just a different feel to the stroke that I have. And I can't quite put my finger on what it is exactly, but it feels a little bit more simple. Like I'm not manipulating the club face as much. It's more just kind of pulling it back and then letting it go through. And I'm not sure if that's just the change in the setup or what that feeling comes from, but that's kind of the difference that I'm getting when I go from this putter that I've been playing with to this L.A.B putter. Maybe the best way to say it is I feel like I'm doing more work with my normal putter, and this L.A.B putter is just kind of letting it go. Interesting. So I just don't want to take my word for it. Let's go check in and get someone else's opinion. Oh, look, it's Jackson at Frederica Learning Center. What a shocker to see you here. Oh, hello. Let's get some of your thoughts on this putter, just so people don't have to take my word for what I thought. Get a couple opinions. Okay. Right off the bat, what do you think? Do you like how it looks?
I do. Obviously, it's got a unique design, and you can see there's a grip that's a little different than the typical flush on the end of the shaft, but I'm excited to try it out.
What do you normally play with?
I have a Bettinardi in my bag right now, and I'm one of those guys that does not change often.
Okay.
So if I have a putter or find something I like, I stick with it for a long time. So I've had a Bettinardi for 4 years, and before that I had a Rife that was in my bag for almost 6.
Okay, got it. So you like how it looks. Let's grab a ball and hit some putts.
So obviously the putter head's got a unique design. It's a little bit bigger than you would typically see, but I kind of think it sets up really well. I like when you can put a putter head down and it just kind of rests square and kind of flat on the ground. I think that's a big deal for me getting in there the same every time. And so this one kind of sets up really easy, which is a good thing right off the bat.
So when they fit me for this putter, they have a unique tool where you can just change the lie angle. And so I was in a 69 degree, and that was just based on how I set up when he fit me for it.
Correct.
So it's kind of a cool little way to get fit. Does the setup feel different than your putter that you're playing?
So a little bit more flat on the ground for me. So I typically get a little bit of like the Steve Stricker or Jason Day, where that heel actually comes up in the ground, up in the air just a little bit, and I kind of get that toe down a little bit. I think it's how it rests well in my hands, like at setup. And this one, even doing that, kind of sits a little bit more flat than what I'm used to, which is okay with me. Now the reason I like the L.A.B golf putters is because of that, they call it the direct force. And so it's fit based on that, on the lie angle, like you were saying. I don't like a whole lot of like face rotation in the backstroke. And so with this, it feels like it stays very square in the backstroke, and I don't have to like work to square it, or I don't have to feel like I'm working on my stroke or doing anything with my hands. I kind of get in there, set up, and just the weight, and based on how that putter head swings back, I can feel the face looking at the ball longer in the backstroke.
So one of the things that I said when I was looking at it was it felt like with my other putter, I had to do more work, where this just kind of like did its own thing. Mm-hmm. Do you resonate with that? Or
yeah,
does that...
absolutely. And the other thing that I really like about this putter, I like soft feeling putter faces. And this one's got a gentle feel off of it. It doesn't have like a click or a hop or anything kind of firm off the face.
Yeah.
That's something I like.
Okay, what about the grip? I don't think I even mentioned that when I was talking about it. What do you think about that?
It's different, right? I don't mind it per se. It's a little bigger than I would like. I've always liked thin grips, right? And I've liked being able to have my hands kind of feel wrapped around the grip. So this is a little bit bigger than I would prefer, but the shape of it is obviously unique. And so I feel like I can get it in the lifeline of that left hand really easy, which I like. And the right hand's still a little awkward for me, but you can see the difference.
What do you think? Like, what do you think this would work for most of your golfers? Like that kind of setup position, or is that
Absolutely.
A little bit out there? I mean, so one thing I did notice, which you said just a little bit ago off camera, was that you feel like you might pull one occasionally. Mm-hmm. Why is that?
So that's based on the face staying square with the lie angle.
Okay.
All right, so that face is looking at the ball longer, and so rather than having the face open in the backstroke,
yep,
with that staying square longer, to me it feels like a pull. But even though it feels like that, when I hit it solid, it rolls straight.
So hit some on this. There's a chalk line here. Mm-hmm. So you got to feel like you're not closing it then? Is that what you're saying?
I don't,
Because I noticed I pulled a few.
Did you?
I pulled more than I pushed. I will say that. You're hitting a few of them in the hole here.
yeah.
I think for me, I just have to like turn everything off. Because it feels like when I hit that putt, I feel like it went over there. Which is a little bit different than what I've been using.
And for some reason, like, does that feel light or heavy to you, the putter itself?
It feels neither. It feels well balanced.
Does it? Okay.
I don't think it like, I don't think I would classify it as light or heavy. Like I have a heavy putter sitting over there if you want to feel
Fair.
a heavy putter. This just feels like it's really well balanced.
So it feels heavier than what I'm used to. I like light putters.
Okay.
Right? But for some reason, with it being heavy, and like these greens are fast right now.
Yep.
Heavy putters and fast greens for me aren't a great combination.
So this feels heavy to you.
That feels heavy to me, but it feels like I can still roll it slow.
Well, I was hearing that a lot too, like hanging out with David Orr a little while back, and he was talking about how a lot of the great putters, like Brad Faxon's putter is super light, right? Like, and a lot of those putters that the great putters used were just super light, and now we have all these heavy putters.
Really?
And so he was talking about the benefits of light putters potentially.
So what was the benefit?
Just you get more feel. And folks will have to go back to that podcast and find that and hear what he has to say on that. But
There's a plug.
There's a plug for the podcast.
What do you feel about it setting up? Like,
I feel like for me, like if I was going to show, I feel like set up, like if I was going to exaggerate, I feel like I'm doing this.
Correct.
Is what it feels like,
Correct.
right? Just because normally I'd go like this and kind of like punch it. Like that's my putting stroke.
Okay.
So this is making me go back a little bit. And
a little bit, yeah.
And then it's a change of a stroke too. It's almost like I'm using more of my right side.
Really?
Which is strange, yeah. But that's just me. Did you get that feel or any of those feels?
I didn't feel that. I did feel.
This is why we asked your opinion, Jackson.
I did feel the adjustment at setup. Like I like a little bit of forward press as well.
What would it take for this to go into your bag?
Not much.
Not much.
No.
You like this a lot?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
You like the look of it? Or you like the technology?
So the reason, I like both.
Okay.
Not to interrupt you, but I think the main reason I like it is that feeling of it staying square.
Okay.
I love that feel. And I think the other thing is with all that going on in the back even, I feel like I have no problem lining it up. Like I think with this being like kind of big and square and just that gentle line back there, I would have to do some work with it, but I think getting that set up square isn't a problem, which I have an issue with typically like mallet putters.
Yeah.
Right, that's why I'm a blade guy. I like small heads.
Yeah.
I like kind of one line, and I line it up way better. That I feel like looking down, I'll be able to aim correctly, even with all that mass behind it.
I think for me, I'll throw it in my bag because I like to switch things up a lot. So this is going in the bag for a little while. We'll see how long it stays. But I mean, I like the technology. I like how it feels like I don't have to work as much, like it's doing the work for me. I like that feel, so let's throw it in the bag.
Perfect.
See what happens. All right, Jackson, how do you make a putter switch, right? Oof. So when you go, you mentioned you have used your putters for like 4 and 6 years, right? How do you, and then how would you suggest somebody switches to a different putter? Like what should they do as far as a routine? Just like
tons of speed control to start, right? I think obviously you can make putting very simple. So you need to be able to start the ball on your intended line, right? You gotta be able to aim it well, and you've gotta have good speed control. So I would do simple drills where you can start the ball on line. There's tons of easy drills and training aids to work with that, and then a bunch of speed drills, because I think that's the biggest thing, taking a new putter, especially from the putting green onto the course, or maybe even into competition, is getting the speed correct. And now that doesn't mean just long putts, right? Speed control is important even on 5-footers and 8-footers and 10-footers. And so getting your speed control dialed in kind of on a, you know, the close range putts and the long ones is vital, I think, in the short term when you make a transition and you've got a different putter with maybe a different weight, it's heavier, maybe a different feel off the face.
What, do you have a favorite game, or do you have a drill?
Easy drill for speed control. You get 3 balls, and this one is kind of for your longer putts. Like, I'm just gonna roll one out there, maybe like 30 feet or so.
Not aiming at anything.
Not aiming at anything. And my next one, I have to hit past that ball.
No! Oh, he did it.
And then the third one, you've got to hit in between.
You gave yourself a real challenge here. Oh, man. Was that ever good? We're gonna go look at that.
I think it's
that
a little short.
Good. Oh,
pretty good though, isn't it?
Depending on the angle that I hold this at, I think we could either give it to you or not. That's pretty good. Okay, hold this. Let me try that. You point this at me. You get extra points though, because you put it so close to each other. That's ridiculous. All right. Here we go. About 30 feet out here. That's not 30 feet.
That's fine.
Okay, so put one past that.
Good.
Making it pretty easy on myself. Now in between that. Sit.
Well done.
There we go. I didn't think I was gonna do that.
That one's good too, because like the better you get at it, the harder it is.
Yeah.
Even though like you're rolling out there 30 feet, if you put the next one 2 feet past it, which is still pretty good, then that third one's challenging.
Yeah.
And I think it adapts. So if somebody's not good with speed control and they've got a big distance between, they can keep working on it and it'll get better over time.
All right, Jackson. Thanks for your
My
comments
pleasure.
there. All right, quick thoughts on the L.A.B putter. Definitely interesting, was fun to check it out. Jackson, there he is in the background, still putting with it. He hasn't given that thing back to me yet. But interesting thoughts, curious to hear what you have to say. Comment below if that technology makes sense to you, and maybe you're gonna try it out and put it in the bag.